Recently unemployed single father Dennis Nash, a former construction worker in Orlando, Florida, is evicted together with his mother Lynn, a hairdresser, and young son Connor from the foreclosed home they share. Real estate operator Rick Carver is in charge of the eviction, and police officers who provide the enforcement call him boss. Dennis and his family move into a shabby, cramped motel room. Dennis goes to Rick's office and tries to take back his tools stolen by Rick's men. Rick sees the confrontation and is impressed by Dennis' gumption. He offers Dennis work as a repairman at his properties and Dennis accepts. Dennis soon becomes Rick's assistant, helping to carry out evictions himself and quickly learning the real estate schemes that exploit government and banking rules to the disadvantage of struggling homeowners. It is revealed that Rick and Dennis have similar backgrounds, and having seen how his father worked hard for no reward and seeing how stacked the system is against the common man, Rick reasons it's better to be the hunter rather than the hunted. Dennis takes a cut for the work he is performing for Rick and dips into the glamorous lifestyle in which Rick indulges. On his rounds he encounters the father of his son's best friend. But the man turned hostile toward Dennis when he saw him become part of Rick's eviction business. He says the eviction is illegal and will fight it in court. Almost as soon as he begins working for Rick, Dennis tells Rick to keep the checks Rick offers as payment, so that he can buy back the house from which he was evicted. Rick warns him not to get sentimental about real estate and tells him to keep his money for now, since it is not enough to buy the house back. However, they make a deal with Rick to buy back his family's old house. But the legal process prevents them from moving in immediately. Nonetheless, he surprises his mother and son, showing them the house and telling them they will move back in. Meanwhile, an evicted homeowner living in the same motel as Dennis and his family recognizes and threatens him. He denies knowing the man, but his mother and son are suspicious of how he's making money. Having witnessed the malicious calls Rick often gets, he decides to move out of the motel room immediately by selling the family home and buying a much more luxurious home instead. When Dennis brings his mother and son to the luxurious house and informs them he bought it and sold their old house so they could get out of the motel room immediately, his mother does not believe at first that he has bought the house. Then Dennis' mother is shocked by the loss of their longtime home and is repelled as she realizes Dennis got his newfound wealth by helping Rick victimize vulnerable homeowners who have financial problems. Connor is also unhappy with the arrangement and sides with his grandmother as they leave Dennis to stay with her brother. Rick puts together a multi-million-dollar real estate deal, but it is jeopardized by a legal case brought by a homeowner, the father of Connor's best friend. He is trying to evict. The deal is set to collapse if the homeowner wins, as he asserts there is not a full set of documents to evict him. Rick forges the document and entrusts Dennis to deliver it to the court, which puts him in a moral dilemma. Dennis eventually obeys Rick's order to deliver the missing document to court that defeats the homeowner's legal case. The subsequent eviction turns into an armed standoff, fearing that the man, whose family is also in the house, will likely be killed in a shootout. Dennis confesses to giving a forged document to the court. The homeowner surrenders, and Dennis is escorted to the law enforcement's car so that they can speak with Rick. As Dennis waits in the car, the homeowner's son smiles at him, then quickly runs away.